to become a Canadian citizen, most of the people has to pass the citizenship test. The test is about the following aspects of history, geography, economy, government, laws, and symbols of Canada. And the only official guide is the Discovery Canada, the book called the Discovery Canada, which is this book. Okay. So while there are multiple test size, like fact test questions, but none of that is the same as the testing questions. So by law, I cannot expose to you. I've been through the test, but by law, I cannot make an example of the real questions. But I can assure you that most of the test questions you can find online is not the same as the questions in the real test. So there is no shortcut. You really have to be familiar with the contents in this book. For example, here's the sentence in this book. It says, in 1951, for the first time, a majority of Canadians were able to afford adequate food, shelter, and clothing. So, like in this sentence, so it is important to memorize the year, which is in 1951. So you can read through the whole book for multiple times, but it's really difficult to ensure that you have remembered all of these facts with those dates, people, with the places, like the name of the acts. So what I did here is that I have developed a tool to help people to practice their memory about all these different facts. So, for example, so the user can select a chapter and select a topic, and these topics covers those dates, locations, organizations, persons, whatever. Right. So let's take an example to say that we're gonna practice on how good we know the peoples. So you can select like chapter 4. In chapter 4, so you can select chapter 4. You can have the topic of the people, and you click go. Sorry, I'm going to switch to this topic of person because it is more straightforward. So the practice is going to give 4 choices here, each with the name of Michael Smith. And it's going to ask you which statement in these 4 choices is correct. So behind these choices are the actual sentences, exactly the sentences from that book. It's just that for those 4 statements, that the name in the original sentences were replaced by the name of Michael Smith. So on the left you have these choices. On the right, if you want to know that these are the real sentences with the correct names. Right. So here, of course, this the third choice is right. That you have this Michael Smith, which is a Nobel Prize winner. Yeah. So let's suppose that you have the wrong choices. If you select this, so what it happens is that it's going to stay on this page with the same question, and it's going to tell you that your accuracy of answering this question is 0, and you have tried once, but you have the number of you have 0 times and making it correct. So you can keep trying. You're going to say that, okay, so I'm going to have the second choice, and again it says that it is not right, and you have to keep trying on the same question, and now you have tried for 2 times with none correct. So once you click the right choice, which is this one, then it's going to switch to another question, and now it's going to tell you that that out of the total of 51 questions, so these questions are all in about informations in chapter 4 about the persons. So out of that 51 questions, you have 49 remaining questions that you are not answered, or you have a very low right rate. And in this case, because you haven't been tested for the rest of 49 questions, so the right rate is 0 for these questions. All right, so then you can test the next question, and so anytime you can go back and check what are the correct answers. For example, if you choose this one as the wrong answer, and you can go back and check who was the real person, for example, this one, and then you can go back and check who was the real person. So instead of this John Polanyi in the original sentence. So this whole practice is not based on a limited set of questions. It is rather based on the whole text of this book. So what I did here is that I randomly select the sentences and replace the relevant, the related sentence, related phrases with the one to be tested. Well, so during the practice, you can navigate between the previous questions and the next questions. Okay. So my experience is that so for a given chapter and topic, so like in this case, you have 3 questions related to the dates in chapter 1. So if you can have the right answers for in 80% of the cases, that's good enough. Like you can move on and select a different chapter and a different topic, or a different topic of the same chapter. So the benefit of this test is that it is purely based on the real sentences in this book, which is the only official guide for this test. The second is that it offers unlimited number of questions for testing and practicing. And the third is that if you can achieve an accuracy rate of 80% for a particular chapter and topic, and you're good enough. So for my own version, actually I can record the progress of my testing, and then I can load my progress file and continue the practicing in a different date and time. But this one requires to save the progress in my Mongo database. So currently I haven't developed it for other users. So you have to practice that. You have to memorize by yourself which chapters and topics that you're already good at. But anyway, it is a good practice. So actually I used that to practice by myself. And this is the results. So I took the test in May the 2nd of this year, and I got everything right in this